Hello you guys, I am Little Fit Kendall. Thanks for tuning in for another Little Fit video. Today we are going to be rocking a pretty stellar upper body dumbbell workout. We've got you covered from the warm up right on to the cool down. This is going to be an excellent workout to be able to help you burn some fat if that's what you're after, or help us build and tone our shoulders for summertime. Make sure to drink lots of water, and before we get into this exercise, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping me a subscribe, I would hugely appreciate it. I am so grateful for your support, and with that, let's get our lift on. Let's get started with a nice little warm up here. Gonna get into these elbow arcs, so squeezing our elbows together in the front. And as we pull our arms backwards, you really want to emphasize the stretch in the front of your shoulder and chest. So really try to bring those hands as far as back as you can. Taking nice deep breaths the entire time. Now we're going to switch to our prayer press, so squeezing our elbows together and just bumping our fingers up towards the ceiling. You want to try to keep your elbows at about your neck height or higher. Try not to let them dip past your chest. All right, arm circles, always a staple for our upper body days. They help make sure that our shoulders are nice and limber and make sure those rotator cuffs are ready for action. Make sure you're taking nice deep breaths. All right, short little warm up. Let's do this thing. All right, you guys, starting with some jumping jacks here. We're really gonna wanna try to move pretty quickly. Take up space, stretch out those fingertips, point those toes. Let's do it. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm keeping my head up, you guys. I like to pick something to look at that is out in front of my face so that I'm not looking down at the ground and putting unnecessary stress on my neck. We also want to make sure we keep our chest up. And 3, 2, 1, rest. All right. Little breather here. We got 15-second breaks in between our 20-second work periods. You want to grab yourself a set of dumbbells. We're going to go into an overhead press. Little Holly here having a nap. All right, you guys. We want to bring those elbows to 90 degrees. And then as we press them up, kind of not quite have the dumbbells touch, but you do want to bring those dumbbells in towards each other. It is so important to keep your abs nice and tight here. We don't want to put any pressure on our lower back, so make sure those abs are pulled in. 3, 2, 1, rest it up. Totally feel free to grab a little bit of water in these short breaks. Up next, we're gonna do a bent over row. So this one's gonna help us target our rear delts and our back. So extending our arms, letting those dumbbells hang to the ground, and then pulling our elbows up and behind us. You wanna try to think about squeezing those elbows together, keeping them nice and close into our body. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. All right. Let's go ahead and do some stiff leg deadlifts here. This is really gonna help us with working our lower back. And yeah, it does hit our hamstrings too, and a little bit of the glute, which I mean, this girl's never complaining about that. Once again, you guys, you might notice that I'm keeping my gaze upward. I'm picking the opposite corner of the room to look at, the bottom corner. So I don't want to look up because that'll put pressure on my neck. Just kind of trying to keep a neutral position with my head. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, now we're gonna do an upright row. So targeting those shoulders a little bit more, some of our traps. We're gonna squeeze our elbows up to the ceiling, bringing our dumbbells up into our armpits. Once again, you wanna make sure you have a nice tight core here because we don't wanna have any pressure on that lower back that doesn't need to be there. Here we go, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Let's rest. Fabulous stuff. Take advantage of your little breathers here, taking nice deep breaths. All right, let's hit some bicep curls, a little classic for arm day. And with this one, you guys, you want to make sure that you're squeezing your arms into your sides. So you don't want to be moving from the elbow to your shoulder. You want that to be as still as possible. Also notice that I am straightening my arms out entirely. That means that I am working my triceps as I bring the dumbbells down to the bottom. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, fam, nice job. Working our pipes here. Up next, we have a little bit of a variation for these curls, and that is going to be our hammer curls. Hammer curls work a different part of our bicep, and pretty much we're just gonna take out the rotation at the top. So I'm bringing my thumb up to my shoulder, but keeping my palms facing each other. Once again, my shoulder and elbow, shoulder to my elbow, are as still as I can get them. And 3, 2, 1, rest. There we go. All right, time for a little break here. Nerdy little flex thing going on there. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water here, you guys. We have a 60-second rest. Make sure you don't skip it. It's super duper important that we take the time to let our body regulate between our working sets. A lot of the magic actually happens while we're resting, but we want to make sure we're pushing hard while we are working out. I like to try to make sure my shoulders are rolled back and my chest is up so I can get as much oxygen in my lungs as possible. And thinking a little bit about what my goals are. Why I'm here, doing what I'm doing, why I'm putting this effort in. Think about what you want. Back to those jumping jacks. Once again, you guys, really try to take up some good space here. You want to spread those hands and feet as wide as you can and get pretty poppy with it. Try to get a little height in those hops. Three, 2, 1, rest. Oh, stepped on her tail, but that's okay. She didn't care. All right, you guys, grab those dumbbells. Let's work some magic here into those overhead presses one more time. Well, technically 2 more times. All right, you guys, setting that core. Let's do it. Press down nice and slow. So you'll notice here that I'm trying to press up nice and hard, and I am returning the dumbbells down to the lower position nice and slowly. So this is increasing our time under tension. Three, 2, 1, rest. All right, you guys, we're gonna get into those bent over rows now. These are so great for our rear delts, the back of our shoulders, and our back, just kind of in general. Make sure you're staying in this nice bent over position. That's just gonna help so that we can get the angles that we need to be getting. Awesome job putting tension into every squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Rest it up, fam. Round 2, hopefully you're feeling a bit of a burn, but we got round 3 to look forward to as well. Let's go ahead and get into our stiff leg deadlifts. Really try to lift your tailbone up to the ceiling, you guys. I want you to feel a stretch in the backs of your legs, giving those hamstrings a little extra love. Once again, you notice that I'm going a little bit slower on the way down than I am on the way up. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Great stuff. All right, let's load up into those upright rows. That's what I'm talking about. Lift those elbows up nice and high. You might notice that I'm exhaling as I lift and inhaling as I lower those dumbbells back down. 3, 2, 1, let's rest. All right, let's get started with some bicep curls. Setting our position. And for this set, remember you guys, you are gonna rotate your palms in towards your shoulders. So a classic bicep curl. And once again, really try to push those dumbbells downward at the bottom of the curl so that you can really engage your triceps. Talk about feeding two birds from one hand. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's rest. Up next, we're gonna have our hammer curls. Squeezing our elbows into our side, pulling our thumbs up to our shoulders. And by now you guys have probably got it figured out, but let's keep that core nice and tight. We want to keep our back straight. No extra pressure that doesn't need to be there. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, try just going a little bit slower on the way down. 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. Go ahead and rest. Second and last rest of our little workout here, we're gonna get into our third round here, and I like to call this the leave it on the mat round. What I mean by that is that I want you to leave all your energy in these last reps, in these last sets. I want you to really push it, and always keep in mind that you get out of these things what you put into them. The harder we work, the better our results will be. All right, you guys, getting ready for those jumping jacks. Try to stay up on your toes. Don't let those heels touch the ground. We want to get a little extra calf work up in here. Fabulous. Nice and quick. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And with that, the cardio is done. No more cardio. Woo. All right, you guys, little breather here. Then let's grab those dumbbells and do a little bit of a shoulder press. And for the third round, I recommend using a weight that is quite a bit more challenging than the first two, or at least enough so that you find it difficult to get all the way to 30 seconds. Those muscles should be feeling pretty tired by the end of each set. That's what I'm talking about. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, good stuff, you guys. So important to work our upper body and keep those shoulders strong. All right, into that bent over row. This is again gonna help us tone that upper and middle back. Great stuff. Don't be afraid to slow it down if you want to feel a little bit extra burn, and you can probably go pretty heavy with your weights here. 3, 2, 1, rest. There we go. This is the last time we're doing any of these exercises, you guys, so make sure that you are giving it your all. I mean, the time's gonna pass anyway, so we may as well really make it count. All right, into our stiff leg deadlifts. Try to keep your legs as straight as possible. 3, 2, 1, rest. Little Ollie's being such a good girl. I swear she's not sedated. All right, you guys, into our upright rows. Let's do this. Elbows up. This is another one where if you want to go a little bit slower, absolutely feel free. That's just going to help increase our time under tension. Give me one more, and let's rest. All right, you guys. This is it, the final countdown. Last couple of exercises. Going into those bicep curls. And here you're really gonna notice that I'm coming up nice and quickly with those dumbbells, but really trying to slow my roll as I lower them back down. I'm telling you guys, these faces are about as real as it gets. 3, 2, 1, rest. Yeah, getting that burn going. I love it. All right. The last exercise, I want you to take your time. Really think about the muscles working. Lowering those dumbbells nice and slowly. We are in control here, you guys. 2, 1, rest. There we have it. All right, you guys. But don't go anywhere. We got a warm up coming your way. Let's lace our fingers in behind our back and pull our hands down to the floor, keeping our chest open, shoulders back. All right, you guys, classic little front of our body arm stretch here. Make sure that when you're pulling on your arm, you're not pulling on your elbow, but the meat just above it. You don't want to ever put pressure directly on top of a joint. Reaching up to the ceiling and then curling down towards our toes, and just go as low as you feel comfortable. If you're able to, try pressing the backs of your hands into the mat while keeping your legs straight. Let's go ahead and wrap our arms around our back, trying to touch our fingertips in behind. Obviously, we're not going to be able to actually do that, but you really want to actively pull your shoulders downward and get a deep stretch all throughout your back. Standing back up straight and sinking into a sumo squat here. I'm using my elbows to help me open up my knees. Taking deep breaths, and you're gonna feel this in the front of your hips. It's so important that we keep good mobility there. Taking a little time to practice some gratitude for yourself for having shown up and kicked some butt. And there we have it, you guys. Workout completed.